Hey, it's Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. Today, I want to talk to you about bullying because kids are going back to school now, and this is a really hot topic that I think we can get ahead of. And this article here by Johns Hopkins Medicine Health, I think gives us some really good guidance for parents. So let's take a look at it. It's not only about kids because this idea of bullying, yeah, it shows up in schools, but it brings to mind a lot of ideas that I have with what I've called our automatic brain, our primitive or animal nature. So let's take a look at this. Does going back to school mean going back to bullying? Now, the beginning of the school year brings concerns for many children and parents. Good grades, of course, getting enough sleep, and getting along with teachers and other students are all important. But one of the most concerning issues, as noted by Johns Hopkins Children's Center mental health counselor Jamie Margolis, continues to be bullying. It can lead to low self-esteem, health problems, poor grades, and even suicidal thoughts. Margolis answers some common questions about bullying at school and offers tips for parents of children who are bullied or are bullies. So I'm going to take a break right now just to kind of go over this concept that I have of our animal nature, our primitive nature, our automatic brain, which will do whatever it takes by all means necessary to protect us from danger, threat, or vulnerability. And a lot of times that means positioning ourselves to be one up from another, because when we're one up from another, it potentially insulates us from danger. Now, that's an animal instinct. That's a primitive instinct. That's not something that we want to believe, trust, or take direction from in our lives. Unfortunately, bullies at any age are believing, trusting, and taking direction from this animal nature, and it does a lot of destruction to others. So what is bullying? While laws may vary from state to state, the definition of bullying accepted by many mental health professionals is physical or verbal aggression that is repeated over a period of time and involves an imbalance of power. Again, our animal nature is power. We need to be one up to overpower another in order to insulate us from danger. How common is bullying today? Bullying has been around for a long time, from time immemorial, from our ancestors 50,000 years ago. Again, the animal nature. Unfortunately, now it has reached epidemic levels in schools, especially due to social media. At Johns Hopkins, we usually start seeing cases of bullying in November and December after kids have settled into their cliques. Who is the typical bullying victim? Anyone can be bullied. However, children who are socially different, have lower peer acceptance, or who are perceived as weaker are more likely to get bullied. So if we take that idea of animal nature, animals like to be in groups because groups are protective. And if you know if you've seen in nature and read read anything about animals, you know that the predator will look for the weakest in a pack, the straggler. That will be the one that they'll pounce on, whether it's a coyote or whether it's a hyena or whether it's any predatory animal. They'll look for the weakest in that and to pounce on it. Although nowadays kids feel more open about speaking out, not everybody is willing to do that. Those are the kids we see with depression-like symptoms. When they come to our clinic, it's often uncovered that they were getting picked on at school. So what are the different types of bullying? There are thought to be 4 types of bullying. Physical bullying, of course, involves, but it's not limited to, hitting, kicking, pushing, or otherwise fighting others, overpowering others physically. Verbal bullying refers to use or misuse of words to harm others through name-calling, insults, or harsh teasing. And we've all heard the saying, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Of course, that's a lie. Words stick in our brain, and they can fester at all times in our life. When they happen in childhood, they can fester even in adulthood. Relational bullying focus on excluding one or more people from a peer group. Reactive bullying is when a person responds to being a former victim by bullying others. Okay, so we it's a typical, again, animal, primitive, reflexive, automatic brain. It's automatic. You were picked on, so now you're going to be the victor, in a sense, instead of the victim. Well, if you know any of my work, we know that is far from being a victor. Cyberbullying, this is really has taken bullying to another level, and is willful and repeated bullying behaviors that involve electronic technology like gaming devices, the internet, social media, emails, blogs, cell phones, etc. What are some examples of cyberbullying? Sending mean or threatening emails, text, tweets, or instant messages, tricking someone into revealing personal or embarrassing information, hacking into someone's accounts and being cruel while posing as that person, creating websites to embarrass or make fun of someone. There are a variety of consequences of cyberbullying for the bully, ranging from being suspended or expelled from school and sports teams to legal recourse and potential criminal charges. Look, if there's no consequence to bad behavior, it's going to continue. This is a topic that goes way beyond bullying. In our society today, there seems to be a movement toward less consequences for bad behavior, making excuses for the person who's doing the bad behavior. We can't have that. Unfortunately, yes, there are bad circumstances in people's lives that cause them to do bad things. However, if those bad things that they do have no consequences, not only will the person doing them never learn, but society will definitely suffer from it. What if the child is bullied on social media? While bullying itself is as old as time, the tools of the digital age often escalate the problem exponentially. Now some bullying victims have their horrific experiences plastered all over the internet. Not only is the child a victim in his or her personal life, but the child also may face the issue publicly and be harassed about it. Children have made attempts on their lives as a result of social media bullying. Suicidal attempts, because the embarrassment is so devastating. And I talk about the fight or flight response in our automatic brain, our primitive animal nature, fight or flight. The fight of these bullies is to be one up. The flight of the person who is bullied could be the ultimate escape, the ultimate flight. Because embarrassment means being one upped, being suppressed, being put down. And the ultimate flight from that danger of that happening is suicidal ideation, thinking about it, or suicidal attempts. If this happens in your family, consider filing a police report and pressing charges. Again, consequences need to happen. What are children feeling when they're bullied? Of course, they feel deflated and demoralized, their self-esteem plummets, and they feel like they can't tell anybody. They fear retaliation for saying or doing anything. It's kind of like what happens with like a mob, the mafia or any other the Taliban. I mean, people who are living in areas where there is a regime that is overpowering them, that they don't have any recourse. They don't have any type of any to go anywhere, and that's what they fear. The person bullied rationalized that if they don't want to be a victim, they have to become a part of the group. So they become aggressive, which leads to suspensions, expulsions, and failing grades. What do bullied children do? They need support from both adults and peers. They need to be able to talk about their experiences and feelings. They are looking for a sense of belonging and being safe, as well as support in not blaming themselves for the bullying. They also want to know that there are consequences for the bullies. Again, there has to be consequences for bad behavior, or it's going to happen over and over again. How do you counsel victims of bullying? We talk about how they should stand up for themselves and how to be good friends and how difficult both of these things can be. We work with parents, school administrators, and teachers to help bullied children feel less isolated. We help students find ways to be safe by encouraging them to stay in groups. We also encourage kids who are bullied to use their parents as advocates. That's important. Use their parents as advocates, because many kids who are bullied feel ashamed and embarrassed and think their parents may look at them differently or may not even take their side. Each state department of education has bullying and harassment forms parents can fill out and submit to their school. By law, the school has to conduct an investigation and provide feedback. We also identify advocates and other resources in the community. What can parents do to stop bullying? You can help your child by remaining calm and supportive and reassuring them that they are in no way to blame for the victimization. Keeping an open dialogue can go a long way in helping the victim of bullying feel comfortable to talk about it. You should also be vigilant and pay attention to changes in your child's personality. If your son or daughter has always been happy and extroverted and all of a sudden they hide in their room and don't want to talk, then something is going on. First, let them know it's safe to talk and the conversation will stay between the two of you. If you need to go to school, do so anonymously. Make sure that the child is not harmed in any way. I mean, bullying, why is bullying, it's been around for so long, but why now is it so bad? And it's social media, definitely, because in the past, if you were bullied, it was on a very small scale. And it was on a scale that was probably manageable, both for the person being bullied and also for any type of consequences to the bullier. It was kept confined. It was very direct and focused, laser focused. Now, because of social media, it's you have the world. The world knows how much a loser you are, right? That's how the bullier feels, and it seems like there's no escape for that. There's no place to hide. What advice can parents give to their kids about bullying? Teach your children safety strategies, such as walking away, going to a teacher, coach, or other safe adult, or finding a safe public place. Nurture your child's self-esteem and encourage them to report bullying to you, teachers, coaches, or school administrators. Should parents engage the bully's family? That's a good question. It's best not to engage the family and instead report incidents of bullying to the school administration so that the school can take action and conduct a proper investigation. The school will then take an appropriate action against the bully, whether it's peer mediation, detention, suspension, or expulsion. If you involve the family, of course the family has something to lose from this, and they're going to maybe go against any type of consequence to the bullier. And again, if there's no consequences, bad behavior, whether it's this bully or another bully, will continue. Any advice for the bully's parents? Be firm, stress that bullying is never okay, and set limits on aggressive behavior. Remember to act as a role model and use non-physical discipline. What can schools do about bullying? It can be a good idea for schools to create an anti-bullying provision in their social psychological curriculum in which students sign off on the discipline code of ethics as an enforceable offense. Schools should have zero tolerance for bullying. If you bully, we will suspend you. And if you're caught again, you can be expelled. And one thing that this is not mentioning is that the bullies, again, are responding to their automatic primitive nature. Okay? Somehow they feel endangered. Somehow they feel threatened, and they need to be one-upped. So there's a lot going on in their mind. Yes, there has to be consequences, but you also have to pull out the bully, and they have to be talked to. They have to find out what is promoting them to be so hostile, to react this way. Because if you don't get to the bottom of that, you'll never cure that person. That person's going to be a repeat offender, if you will, and you're not going to get to the bottom of it. But there has to be consequences for this. So as your kids go back to school, maybe this can help you, can help them, and share it with others, and let me know what you think. Until next time, I'm Dr. Charles, a.k.a. CoachMD, urging you to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul. Bye for now.
Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.